Hi, my name is the Friendly Guardian, but you can call me FG, and today we are starting a new series about Destiny continuing into Destiny 2. Let's get into the video. In the background, you'll be seeing a 3v3 while I use the Hawkmoon and do pretty well in the victory. Destiny 1 returning to Destiny 2. When Age of Triumph was released, Destiny came out with a whole lot of new features, including vendor roles constantly changing, all raids being active, and a rotating Crucible playlist along with other features. This got me thinking about what from Destiny 1 will return during Destiny 2. Obviously, a lot of things will be returning. Supers, gun mechanics, raids, strikes, etc. But what changes will Destiny 2 make to these current topics, and will some features be brought back at all? Hence, this new series, returning from Destiny 1, where I will take a certain feature of Destiny and talk about how I believe it will return to Destiny 2, or if it will return to Destiny 2 at all. I'll give my opinion on whether I believe it should return to Destiny 2, and if it should, how should it be changed to better Destiny 2? Because in the end, if there's a bad mechanic in Destiny 1, I most certainly don't want to return in Destiny 2. With the explanation for the series out of the way, let's get into the video. Today we're talking about supers, specifically the Blade Dancer, Sunsinger, and the Defender subclasses. I chose to discuss these three subclasses specifically because other subclasses have been confirmed, including Golden Gun and Striker, as well as these are the subclasses that have the same burn as the new subclasses for each character. So will these be returning to Destiny 2? Two of the supers lead me to believe that they will not be returning, but one super, the Bubble, still has me wondering if these three subclasses can find a way into Destiny 2. Let's start with the two reasons I believe they will not return. The Sunsinger Solar subclass is changing to the Dawnblade Solar subclass. The Sunsinger had a perk called Fireborn, which many Destiny players referred to as Self-Res. Self-Res, however, broke so many PvE mechanics, and just to name a few, this could include Atheon, Oryx, and Crota. In Atheon, the fight could be three-manned because the Warlock could simply jump off the map with his Self-Res, wait for his two teammates to be teleported to either Mars or Venus, and then self-res to open the gate up. Which, if he couldn't self-res, his two teammates would be stuck in those two planets and wouldn't be able to get back to the Atheon fight, which would result in a wipe. In the Oryx fight, the Warlock could solo the fight because he could simply self-res after Oryx killed him, come back to life, and continue the fight as it was normally done. Finally, Crota, which has been soloed by so many characters at this point, it's just been considered a broken raid. But Warlocks can solo it because if they die, the Oversoul can go off, and they can simply self-res after the Oversoul. These are just some ways that the self-res perk broke many mechanics. It also broke other mechanics, including the bridge mechanic, where a Warlock could jump off, force all the adds to despawn, and then just spawn back up again. So since the self-res perk broke too many raid mechanics, I therefore think that it won't be returning to Destiny 2, and I think in Destiny 2 overall, there just won't be a perk where a character can revive himself once he dies. He'll just have to wait for his teammates to either be able to revive him, if at all, or wait for a wipe or to finish the encounter. The second subclass that leads me to believe that these three aren't coming back is Blade Dancer. Blade Dancer is being changed to Arcstrider. The Arcstrider looks like everything the Blade Dancer should have been. They have the same grenades, jumps, and roaming supers that slice things up. Why would Destiny have a character with two of the same supers with the same burn to do the same thing? Arcstrider also looks way more fluid and looks to have put an end to the short-stop mechanic Blade Dancers are plagued by. The one reason I think these subclasses may return is the third subclass, Defender. The Defender class will be changing to something called Sentinel. But every really good MMO always has a strong support class for people that just want to help their team kill bosses easier. The Defender Titan was that. It created a bubble that defended from damage, gave extra shields, or boosted damage to DPS bosses faster. Whatever the situation was, the Defender could support. Now the Titan is getting another offensive super, and their bubble has moved over to the passive of two different styled walls that can block damage, but neither of them create a damage boost or provide additional shields for a character in the open. The Defender is one super I want to see return, but I still doubt its return, because if the Defender returns, both the other subclasses also have to return, so that each character would have 4 subclasses. Lastly, one reason I don't think the Defender will return is that the Sentinel gives Titans a variety in PvE. Almost 99% of Destiny 1, the Defender Titan was the best subclass for a Titan to carry into the raid. But Sentinel now gives Titans more options to choose what subclass to use at certain points in raids. If, for example, there needs to be a high single target DPS in a case where a relic needs to be stolen from an ad, the Striker Titan would do significant damage to that single ad. Or the Hammers create a version of AoE damage, while the Sentinel also provides defense or can be offensive because the shield now can be thrown, similar to Captain America in all of his movies. Finally, if I'm wrong and all the supers are coming back, what do I want to see changed? Number 1, keep Defender as is. Let Sentinel be both an offensive and defensive subclass, as it can both put out damage and defend the Titan using the super, as well as its teammates behind him. While the Bubble Titan is a 100% all about supporting and saving its teammates in the raid. Number 2, Sunsinger. Give Radiance a supportive perk instead of Fireborn. Call it Igniter, where Ignite now procs on your weapon damage at a reduction of length of the super. This, combined with Viking Funeral, would weaken bosses and let all teammates do more damage, while also removing a broken mechanic in Fireborn from the raids. The subclass would be another support subclass that the Dawnblade simply is not. If Sunsinger does not move into Destiny 2, the Warlock would also have 3 offensive subclasses, similar to the Hunter and the changing subclasses in the Titan. It would have Nova Bomb, Stormcaller, and Dawnblade, which all seem to be AoE damage based rather than boss damage based. Finally, Blade Dancer. Change the super to help it do more AoE damage. That would be my only suggestion, as I really couldn't think of anything else when I was trying to think of something that the Hunter really needs. This way, with AoE damage, the Archstrider is able to clear ads by meleeing, while the Blade Dancers can support themselves and teammates with AoE damage and protecting their teammates in, for example, a circular area that arc waves could shoot out of, similar to the way the Blade Dancer currently does the dance and shoots the waves of arc damage outwards, similar to Scions. These are not perfect fixes and may even cause their own forms of game-breaking flaws, but this was just some of the ideas I thought of in the case that these subclasses do come back, which I still believe will not happen. With all this said, I hope you guys enjoyed this style of video, as I plan to do many more of these kinds of videos, because Age of Triumph did introduce a lot of new mechanics that I definitely want to talk about, because it seemed that Bungie devs were trying to test things out before moving into Destiny 2. Otherwise, my name is The Friendly Guardian, you can call me FG, smack all those YouTube buttons down below, and I will win, dance, repeat into the next video. Goodbye!